Hey guys, this is Hero. Quick video. I'm not in my usual place. I'm in Atlanta right now, but there's something I wanted to talk to you about, and that's Mercury and Sun both going into Scorpio, and Ketu is also in Scorpio, okay? So what does this mean? So Scorpio basically, on a most general sense, governs intuition, right? Now Mercury and Sun, they don't really like Scorpio that much, okay? Whenever a planet is like, or these planets are in Scorpio or Pisces, they kind of feel lost, okay? But Scorpio specifically, it basically forces planets to be a little bit more intuitive than usual, okay? So when it comes to a planet like Mars or Jupiter, it's going to behave very good in Scorpio. But what does Sun represent? Sun basically represents your identity, kind of, or the ego, okay? And Mercury kind of represents your rational intelligence. Now, these don't want to be crazy intuitive, okay? As you can imagine, Mercury likes to deal with like facts, stuff like that. It doesn't really like to be intuitive, okay? Sun, same thing. The ego does not want to be intuitive at all, okay? It just kind of wants to do whatever it wants to do, okay? So, and they're both with Ketu, okay? So Ketu can kind of add to that feeling of forcing the planets to be a little bit more intuitive and forcing those planets to feel a little bit more lost, okay? But what could this mean? Okay, like I said, I don't believe in anything as a good or a bad transit, okay? I kind of just believe that they all are meant to teach us different things, okay? So the fact that these two are both conjunct in Scorpio with Ketu basically just means that whatever kind of material expectations you have for this month, I would kind of put them aside. I would encourage you to put them aside and be intuitive, okay? A lot of the times we have a certain plan in our head that we are so attached to how it works out. And a lot of the times we get some like very subtle signs and messages from God or the universe or something to do certain things, and we ignore them because we don't have enough connection with that higher self or that higher power to kind of trust that wisdom, okay? But this month is basically asking you to just connect a little bit with that wisdom to trust, okay? You're gonna notice, I think Sun goes in around mid-November and Mercury goes in just a couple days after that, and Mercury exits Scorpio around beginning to mid-December, and Sun exits like a few days after that, okay? So these kind of 3 to 4 weeks are gonna basically highlight it all depends on where Scorpio is in your chart and where where the houses Sun and Mercury have that rule in your chart. But this in a general sense, you're gonna notice during these 3 to 4 weeks that a lot of this like the messages, like those subtle messages that we all receive on a daily basis, they are going to be a lot more highlighted. Okay, you're going to notice them a lot more, and you could possibly get a lot more signs to do certain stuff or to not do certain stuff. Okay, and all it is when a planet enters and exits a sign is just the intuition or the awareness of that planet changes. Okay. So a lot of us, like I said, especially Sun and Mercury, the aspects of us that have Sun and Mercury, they don't like intuition, like I just said, okay? They like a structured plan. But what this is asking you to do, like I said, is just acknowledge that intuition, and whatever you want to do with it is all basically kind of on your free will, okay? But to an extent, based on your chart. But this awareness is going to be there, okay? So in some of these transits, the combination of them don't come around every so often, okay? So I would encourage you, if you have any spiritual kind of inclination at all, is to basically kind of connect to that intuition and learn to trust the signs, okay? Even if you do something intuitively that doesn't necessarily quote unquote pay off right now, that's fine, because you're learning to kind of trust your higher self, okay? That awareness inside you is kind of just screaming at you saying, hey, you should do this or you shouldn't do this, okay? And rather than letting that, kind of Mercury energy kind of take over and kind of analyze, okay, what are you going to get out of this? I'd encourage you to kind of just accept how Mercury and Sun are. Okay, accept that they're not going to like being intuitive, but also just learn to connect with that intuition. Okay, so don't ignore your intuition. Your intuition is going to get louder, but also the voice in your head of Mercury and Sun not liking, trusting your intuition is going to get louder. Okay, so your intuition is going to get louder, and the fact that Sun and Mercury don't like trusting your intuition get louder as well. Okay, so what I would do is that second part, the fact that Sun and Mercury don't necessarily like being intuitive, I would just accept that those energies or the mindset that those planets have. Oh, the planets are us at the end of the day. Okay, they're parts of us. So I'll just accept the fact that, okay, those parts of us are never gonna like being intuitive, and that's gonna highlight that. So I would just accept that. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to give into it. Don't try to give into the fact that that they don't like it, but don't try to fight the fact that they don't like it too, and kind of try to rationalize with yourself and fight with yourself at a mental level of why you should be more intuitive. Okay, just accept the fact that Mercury and Sun are never gonna like being intuitive, but also because your intuition is more enhanced, I would encourage you also at the same time to trust your intuition. Okay. Because like I said, the more you trust your intuition, the more you do what your higher self tells you, the stronger it will get. Okay? And when these planets move into Sagittarius, I'll talk about that in another video, but when they move into Sagittarius, you really have the chance to use the intuition gained when these planets are in Scorpio to kind of expand on your knowledge when they get into Sagittarius, okay? And kind of see, okay, which parts of kind of higher learning do I like, and which parts do I don't like, okay? But right now, like I said, just ignore the fact that Sun and Mercury don't like being intuitive, okay? Just accept that. And then also, just because you have that increased intuition, I would encourage you to connect with that, okay? It might not be the easiest because Sun and Mercury don't like necessarily, or they're not too fond of being in Scorpio. But like I said, these are just... this is just the way astrology works, and all these combinations kind of happen to kind of teach us certain things. So I'd encourage you to learn as much as possible from this transit. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know. And as usual, talk to you guys later. And until next time, see you guys. Thank you.